What do Serge Nubret, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vince Gironda, Eric Pedersen, and even Eugene Sandow have in common? Besides all obviously being bodybuilders, they all combined muscle control with bodybuilding to create the physiques that they did. Continuing from my previous video interview with muscle control teacher Professor Martinez, today we will be examining muscle control in greater detail in respect to its application to bodybuilding. Muscle control, or maxalding as it was called in the Bronze Era, allows us to activate and isolate the active muscle or muscles with the ability to relax the rest of the body, and this is the core of the system. As Professor Martinez stated, the maxalding system is very flexible. It is a general conditioning system that improves general fitness, and it is not a bodybuilding system that will put on masses of muscle, and this is echoed by both Maxique and Saldo in their several publications. Further, muscle control enhances rehabilitation, allows quicker recovery, and builds a fundamental base for further development of movement because of the ability to move more efficiently, hence the ability to save energy. In fact, Eugene Sandow would use muscle control between trips to different shows to enhance his muscular tone and improve recovery. As can be expected, combining other bodybuilding systems with maxalding is better for muscular development because at its most advanced levels, it provides challenge to the muscles so that they do not adapt, providing further stimulus for hypertrophy. Looking at the typical routines used by Bronze Era athletes, which combined muscle control with dynamic tension, with the light dumbbell system, and with calisthenics, provides evidence of this. One of the first to apply muscle control to bodybuilding was Eugene Sandow, who combined the light dumbbell system with muscle control, and this is explained in Eugene Sandow's many books, such as Strength and How to Obtain It and Sandow's System of Physical Training. Unbeknown to most, this practice would last right through to the golden era of bodybuilding, all the way up to Serge Nubret and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I will discuss in a little while. The main principle of applying muscle control to bodybuilding is to create greater tension in the muscle. And how do you do this, you ask? One simply uses light to moderate weights, and using mental concentration, one creates greater tension to the muscle. Of course, to do this, one needs to already be proficient at muscle control and have the mind-muscle connection. This awareness is what allows one to apply muscle control to bodybuilding. Eric Pedersen, Mr. California of 1946 and runner-up to Steve Reeves in the 1947 Mr. America title, is one example of a bodybuilder from the Silver Era who used muscle control especially to develop his arms, which, as we can see from this rare video footage, are not only very well developed, but so dense in muscle fiber that one can see the two heads splitting and the fibers within, and the biceps contraction is so strong that the biceps appears to almost burst through the skin like a baseball. He actually wrote an article in the 1940s, which I covered years ago on this channel of course, where he explains that he would use light dumbbells for arm work and really concentrate on the muscular contraction and not on lifting the weight. This was the secret to his amazing arm development. Similar to Pedersen, we have Vince Gironda, the Iron Guru, who also preached the same message. Vince actually recommended to his students to use the mind to contract the muscle during the movements and not just lift the weight. As Vince would say, if you can't perform the exercise properly with a given weight, then the weight is too heavy. Vince stated that he would use his mind to make the contraction so strong that the weight would seem heavier than what it really was. That is the level of muscle control that one can apply to bodybuilding. Finally, one of the greatest bodybuilders from the golden era, Serge Nubret, was well known to use light to moderate weights to develop his physique. For example, Serge could bench press 400 pounds easily for reps, as is shown in this rare footage. However, as written in 3 more reps, Serge would only use 1.5 to maybe 2 plates for the bench press, on each side of course, and using muscle control would make his pecs burn and pump like crazy. Using light to moderate weight allowed him to also perform higher rep ranges, which would increase the volume and stimulate fat loss as the workout would become kind of aerobic, unlike an anaerobic style weightlifting workout, which was perfect as a championship routine because it stimulated fat loss. All of this I have covered in my previous video series on Serge Nubret, which is available as a playlist on my channel. Of course, we all know that he, as well as other golden era bodybuilders from the 1970s, were on steroids. However, like him, most golden era bodybuilders would use some level of muscle control and apply it to their bodybuilding practice in order to develop massive musculature and to burn subcutaneous fat. Arnold and his contemporaries were aware of this and applied muscle control to bodybuilding too. Here is a photo of Arnold, like Serge, lifting 300 pounds, at least that's what I think it is, on the incline bench press. But if we look at the footage of pumping iron weeks before the 1975 Mr. Olympia, we see again the use of light to moderate weight for higher repetitions to stimulate hypertrophy and subcutaneous fat loss to develop a muscular and ripped physique. Arnold is barely using 80 kilos from the looks of it on the incline bench press, pumping up his pecs with mental concentration. Similarly, when performing concentration curls, we can see Arnold and maximally contracting his biceps muscle fibers and then pause to relax with every single rep, which is the application of muscle control. Even after he has finished his set, we see him flex and contract his muscles, again performing muscle control, and right after, completely relaxing his muscle prior to the next series of set of contractions. This is really one of the best examples of how golden era bodybuilders used muscle control. We even hear Arnold talking about how he uses muscle control and mental concentration in outtakes of pumping iron and in his later interviews.
If my mind is right and if I can meditate myself into a real good pump, I get it. If my mind is flowing away somewhere else and on some other subject, then I just don't get a pump.
I think the biggest mistake is that you go to the gym and you go through the motion, but you don't really have your mind inside the muscle. So when you do a bicep curl, I can't just stand there like this. Yeah, you can. I've seen the guys training with me also 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. But they look like shit. And why did they look like shit? Is because they didn't concentrate. They did the same exercise, but they stood like this and then they looked sideways. Kind of like they were bored. Because they didn't even know why they were training. They were not inside that bicep.
So that was Arnold on muscle control, and I do hope you have enjoyed this video on the application of muscle control in bodybuilding and how golden era bodybuilders used muscle control to develop their physiques. I will say this though, for some reason, muscle control seems to have a greater effect on the muscles of the arms and chest, and it may be simply because they are anterior to our bodies and we can actually see them and hence develop a better level of mind-muscle connection. If you are interested in reading and learning more about Maxalding and its application in bodybuilding, then please visit my website for the most comprehensive collection of books and courses offered on Maxalding. Those interested in the application of Maxalding in bodybuilding are sure to enjoy How to Become a Great Athlete and Great Strength by Muscle Control, and the complete Maxalding courses that were taught in the Bronze Era are also available. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, leave me your comments. That's it from me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. Head to www.goldenerabookworm.com for the biggest range of classic old school bodybuilding books as ebooks, e-magazines such as Iron Man and Reg Park Journal, high quality bodybuilding posters of the Golden Era stars, merchandise and classic gymwear featuring Steve Reeves, Marvin Eder, John Grimmick, Reg Park, and many other Golden Era stars. For those wishing to build a classic physique, lose fat and build muscle, online training is also available. Collectibles such as rare autographed photos from the Golden Era stars are also available, and to collaborate, please get in touch. As a natural bodybuilder, it is imperative to know your own testosterone levels, as they are a reflection of the anabolic environment created by your diet and training. I would highly recommend using the male hormone test kit from Let's Get Checked, and make sure you use my code GOLDEN30 for a 30% discount. Again, the advantage of checking yourself regularly is that you will know how well your body is anabolically primed to put on the much desired muscle you are working for. Not all of us have the time to go to a gym or the opportunity to have a coach to teach us one-on-one, But with the Future Fitness app, it's like having a personal trainer in your living room. From February 11th onwards, you can try the Future Fitness app for only $19 for the first month. Think of what you can accomplish during that first month. So go on and hit my link at tryfuture.co/GEB to get started.